I wonder. 1 second. Watching high. So I crunched real hard and I got it color corrected and saving. There's also one little bug, one part of the film where I'll say there's a boiling pot of water that you can see, but for some reason at one part of the film, after that section ended, there was like a split second of boiling pot of water. So I quickly got that one fixed, and I put it on my mom's computer to save while I was color grading. So if I didn't get the color graded one done in time, I'd have the other one done so I could upload it without that pot of boiling water mistake. But I got the color correction one saving, and it was getting close to midnight when the deadline was, and it was pretty much ready to submit it. I filled out the form and all this stuff, and I was kind of holding out and waiting till the last second before I said yes, click the button and submit. But I knew I was running out of time. But I said a few prayers along the way, and I went up and I had looked one of my other projects because I submitted a Gummy Bear's Life to a film thing before. Well, Mom said she liked it enough. She wanted me to submit it, and I'm confused now because the status says it was withdrawn, so I don't know exactly why that happened or what went on. But with the way I remember it, as I said, I don't think it's good enough to actually them accept it and get entered. But if you like it enough, you put the money up. And so Mom paid the fee to get it submitted, and they didn't take it. Which kind of expected. A Gummy Bear's Life is good. I am proud of that work, but this is way better. This is a lot more chance of getting submitted. And I didn't really see a way to change like a link to the project or re-upload the project file. But I went upstairs and I said a little prayer, really nervous, and after the prayer, I went down, took one more look, and yes, there is a way that you could change the link to it. So I was like, all right. So I went ahead and I clicked submit, and yes, my suspicions were right. At midnight, it said submissions were closed, but I got it in time, and I even filled out the cover letter section, which you can edit anytime you want. And I basically wrote this, I want to say gushing, but not really, more fancy. It was like, hey, thanks for doing this film contest. There's got another version saving on my computer. That's the one I want to submit. Please, if you do see this or accept this, take that one instead. If you're going to actually show it with this version that you have now, then don't let me submit the color-corrected version, or don't show it and refund my money, or something other than show it, because I kind of don't want my color-corrected version to be shown. During the process, I'm like, I kind of don't want to be a George Lucas, He was always changing things after the fact, like when R2-D2's hiding under the rocks after the sand people come, like there's a later version where George adds a bunch of extra rocks in digitally to make him even more hidden than he was. What's the point of that? But I got that submitted, and you can edit the link, so the other version saved. I got it uploaded to YouTube. It's under a unlisted link. You guys can't see it. It will be made public eventually. We'll get to that a little bit later. So this morning I changed the link out for this one, and I'm doubtful they saw it like last night or maybe 5 in the morning. This morning, I'm hopeful that they didn't, but it is changed. So now I just wait for them to accept it. And I also, after I changed the link, I got rid of my cover letter. So this is the final version. I thought about writing another one, but I was super tired. I might go back on there and edit it and, add a nice cover letter again, but not the same as last time because it is submitted. So now, The Orchard and Viso Music. The reason those are in the title, they have claimed copyright for 2 songs. We're going to handle these one at a time. The first song, both of these are under Creative Commons license. Maybe. So, the first song, the one that Viso Music claimed, I'm going to, after I'm done with this, hopefully I'll be able to get the links in right then instead of having to race off to work. Make sure I know what time it is here. Okay, we're good. So, Viso Music, I have a song by Ria Shisha. I hope I said that right. If I said it wrong and someone knows how to say it, if you look at the links in the description after this is done, please correct me. They're probably not going to see this, though, because I don't think they've been on SoundCloud in at least 5 years or so. But they uploaded this song to SoundCloud under a Creative Commons attribution license. And on SoundCloud, like, you have to pick Creative Commons license if you want that. Otherwise, it's yours, you own it, nobody else can use it. If they do, they're breaking copyright rules. So it was under a Creative Commons attribution license, which means you can use it for anything you want, commercial, non-commercial, as long as you let people know who made the song, which I did. Now, Viso Music, and I've got 2 versions of Airborne Death on YouTube right now, all the various versions that have been uploaded, so this is the best one. I need it on there and ready to submit when it's time. I have gotten there, but I got 2 versions right now. The only reason I've kept the older version on is because I've already submitted some copyright disputes, and I'm waiting to hear back, so I'm keeping that version on so I can hear the disputes through that version, and then from there, whatever they say, then I'll, try and work it out where I get those moved on to the new version and then delete the old one. But, so they have claimed that song, but they've claimed it as Stop Harassment by Widow Prince. So I looked that up. It is the same tune, but it's Widow Prince talking on top of it. He's speaking Arabic, so I can't understand him, but he's talking on top of this track. And now I'm pretty sure that I am in the right here because they were released the same year. SoundCloud doesn't give me detailed info enough to see the day that it was released, so I can't tell if it was released before the YouTube video or not of Widow Prince. But they're released the same year, and it doesn't look like they're connected in any way. Widow Prince is somewhere off in Israel, and Rhea Shisha, the picture that's given of him on SoundCloud, long black hair, he's wearing a hat, a little bit dark skin. He looks slightly Asian, but like he could be, the States or maybe somewhere Italy, maybe. I don't know where he's located. But it just looks like they're not related at all together. And so it's Widow Prince, who's not infringing on the copyright, except for he didn't say who made the original tune. As far as I could see, I didn't watch the whole video. And I should probably go back and read the description too, just to make sure. But that's what they're claiming, and it's pretty obvious that he's rapping on top of this. And a lot of people are complaining about the Orchard music, and Viso music especially. There's like almost no way to contact them. I'll get to that in a minute. But also, this one was with the Orchard music, so the other company that claimed my copyright. But a similar case to what I had with Viso music, this guy had a video where he showed the stuff, showed the evidence, but the song that he used, he bought for use in his videos, and he marked it as, it was, because it was like a package of music you can use for your videos when you buy it, commercial or non-commercial, whatever. And he filed a copyright dispute, and he didn't want to do, because there's 2 steps to it. And the first step, they say, yeah, no, we're going to uphold the copyright. You can appeal that again if they say they're going to keep the copyright claim, but there's a chance your channel could get a strike. And he didn't want to do that because that was a business channel and he was associated with other companies. So, but he went straight to an email to them and got this resolved. Basically, anyone with half a brain cell, he said, would be able to look and see that it's not the thing. His song and the one they were claiming is just like mine. It's some guy rapping. He's being nice and calling it a rap, if you can. Rapping over that tune, and he doesn't know if they stole the tune or if they bought it legally and are using it that way. And I believe with Creative Commons licenses and with music and other stuff that you buy, I believe you can copyright your work, but you can't. So, for instance, that dude rapping on his song and the dude, Widow Prince, talking on top of my song, I believe both of them, I could be wrong, but both of them can copyright that work, but they can't say that I stole their work or claim copyright and put advertisements or anything in front of my video unless I actually take Widow Prince's version of it with him talking on top of it and use it in my video. I can't. They can't. If I take the original song, they have no claim against it. And we're going to come back to that guy's video when I talk about the other one in a bit. But, yeah. So I'm thinking that one I hopefully will win. I really don't want to go the second stage and get a second claim, There's one other video I want to see if I can contact this company elsewhere and dispute other channels. I'll get to why that in a minute. That was for the Vivitar Jam Bag review video and one of the songs that I used on there, which I did have rights to use. The artist said I could. I even bought the music from him. But so, Viso Music. You can contact them through the submit form on YouTube. But everybody's basically saying that it looks like they're out there just to copyright random songs, which I don't know how that is. I did see when I was doing research that there is a way to go in and submit manually, but YouTube does have an automated system. That way the big legitimate companies that do Katy Perry songs and stuff can, it automatically handles stuff for them, because there are thousands of people uploading videos. It would be hard for them to find, it would be impossible for them to find everyone by human. So, yeah, they've got an automated system to handle that, which sometimes is not right. And in this case, I think if it is automated, it's not correct. But a lot of people are saying that Viso Music is most likely just doing this so that they can claim copyright, even though they don't necessarily own it, and put it, and then make money off of the ads that they stuck in front of your video. Now, I believe, I want to say yes for Viso Music, but maybe possibly for the Orchard Music as well. But I saw a few instances where people were saying, hey, we made this song completely original and uploaded it to YouTube, and they claimed copyright on it. Which that's like, no, yeah, definitely. You guys have the rights to it. You can go hard on that. That one, I am 100% positive, would hold up in court. I don't have money to go to court, so I don't want to go to court, And that's the other thing, too. Going to court is expensive, so that's why a lot of times it's either take down your video. The worst case is take down your video or have the channel removed, if there's a whole lot of infringement on copyright. Those are the worst cases that can happen. So they've got that. Viso Music has a Twitter. I'm pretty sure it's the same Viso Music, but there's like 15 or 26 followers. It's very sparse. There's like nothing done to it. On their Twitter, it has a link to a YouTube channel, which isn't actually a channel at all. It's like something like YouTube/music or something like that. And I didn't read all of the text on the page, but just looking at the page and the pictures on there, that's actually YouTube's page, kind of showcasing what they do to handle big companies like, Vivo. You a lot of times see like, I don't know, I think Katy Perry Vivo is a YouTube channel. They handle a lot of the channels for the big popular artists. So it's just showcasing what they do for those types of people. It's not actually the Viso Music company, which now I'm wondering, did they choose Viso because it's kind of like Vivo and they wanted to, infringe on that or something? I don't know. But there's also a Viso Music SoundCloud account, which nothing's been done with that account. Last I checked in a while, they haven't logged on in years. But I listened to one recording on there for a little bit. Oh, I need to say about Widow Prince. I think he's a rapper. I listened to a little bit one of his other songs, and he was rapping. And so, I don't know how legit or big he is, just a quick search. But the Viso Music SoundCloud account, Jordan Oliver, can't wait to watch Airborne Death. Excited to see the results of all that masking. I'm going to address your comment in just a second here, because there's just a little bit of sad news that you maybe kind of missed. We'll get to that in a moment, okay? Thank you for commenting. So I'm going to speed through the rest of this copyright stuff. But, so with the SoundCloud, I listened to just a little bit of one guy's song, and it was basically like, hi, my name is this, and this is my song with Viso Music. Like, they helped him, get it out there and produce it or something. So it looks like they're supposed to be like a licensing type of music distribution center, kind of like Sony Music or the other bigger record labels out there and stuff like that. And after that, it was him singing and playing guitar, and it didn't sound too bad. But I'm not sure if that's the same Viso Music as on the one that's claimed my copyright. So there's the case with Viso Music. Now back to that video of the guy who had the dispute with Orchard Music, where it was some other dude clearly rapping on top of the music that he bought. So he went and submitted an email to them because he found an email that is like disputes at the Orchard Music. And the Orchard Music seems more legitimate. They actually have a website. And I haven't read too much info. It was kind of a quick search. But yes, they read, he submitted to them an email, and they accepted his. He was surprised it came a quick response, and they removed the dispute from there. So I'm hopeful I can get that from them. Now, but here's the thing. So the song I used is Broken Fable by Eternal Keys. In the credits of my video, goodness, oops. I should have changed this. There are like 2 other things I wanted to change too, but it's been submitted now, so I'm going to leave it that way. And, you know, if worst comes to worst, then I will fix it in the description, or I'll re-upload another version, which I don't want to do. But I have Eternal Keys 18 listed in the description because that's what it was uploaded to on Freesound. That's a website. It's mostly for sound effects now, but there is some music from back in the day still on there. And this, it was uploaded under a Creative Commons O license, which is exactly the same as public domain. I can use it for whatever I want, commercial or non-commercial, and I don't have to attribute the artist. But I chose to because I'm a nice guy and I want to. And just checking time there. So, now here's the thing. After the claim was filed, I looked up both of these because YouTube has a search where you can see what the copyright policies for millions of songs are. The other one wasn't on there, and some of the stuff that I've looked up that wasn't a popular song wasn't on there, but I looked this one up, and surprisingly, it's actually on there. And it lists exactly what happened to my video, which is, what is it? Oh yeah, basically, there's no, I can, like, they don't put ads on front of it. At least that's what usually happens, is what it's saying. And I think monetization isn't affected. It's just they're kind of just watching the video and letting you know that they own the copyright for it. And by watching, I mean like they're just keeping an eye on it to see how popular it gets and decide what they want to do from there if it does go viral. So, yeah. But then doing more research, I found it's being sold on Amazon for 99 cents. Which even just buying that isn't enough to give me the rights to it. Because that's buying for personal use. You don't own the rights if you go buy a Coldplay song or One Republic song. I just heard them at the Stadium of Fire. But yeah, so you don't own the rights to that, so that wouldn't work. But there's also, which also confuses me, it's also been uploaded to Newgrounds many years ago. If you're not familiar, Newgrounds is like before YouTube. Newgrounds was like the site for people to share internet flash games they've made, and different, I think short videos maybe were on there, and other content and pictures that you'd made. It was the place to gather a following for your hard-earned computerized efforts. And it's on there, and I believe it is free to download on there too, so then why is it on Amazon for 99 cents? If there's at least 2 sources where you can get it for free that seem to be legitimate. Oh, and also, so this guy's name is Eternal Keys. There's no 18 on the end of it. So, but the actual guy's name, real name in real life, is like Mim Diaplo. He's from Italy, so I probably said that wrong, but I tried my best. And I think that's one of the things that really counts, is if you're legitimately trying and you're not just making fun of people's names, which I am not. So, yeah, on there it says, if you want to use this in a project, send me a message and we can work out the details. Which I'm assuming means you pay him something, you know, because with stuff like that, I learned this from watching Hey Film podcast by Griffin Hammond and Nick Bodmer. But what Griffin Hammond does for his film Sriracha, he has a lot of, like, if somebody wants to use some of it, he'll say, okay, what are you going to do with it? About how much money do you expect to make on this, or how many views do you expect to get? And then this is how much it will cost. So it will probably be something like that, or hopefully he'll be nice and say, just give me credit or something, which some artists do. They're nice like that. So I'm hoping, I am going to contact him that way. I do want to pay him. I'm willing to pay $20 right now even. But if it had to be more expensive, they were saying more like $1,000. Because there was one song that was included with Pinnacle Studio, the editing program I use, but it was for home use only, and if I want to use it for other stuff, I had to go to the website and buy the license. And if I wanted to buy all of the licenses, because I want to be able to use my song for whatever, whenever, who knows what time in the future, I'd be paying at least $1,000. And I was like, nah, I'm going to go find something for free. So, yeah. So I I do want to message him and work things out and actually give proper credit and pay him some money if he wants to. I'll contact him on there, see if he answers. I can go to the Orchard Music and be like, hey, I would love to actually pay somebody, whoever, for this song so I can use it legally. But I'm hopeful because the other guy, he got his thing taken back from it. And so I'm now wondering, and I'm going to go on like the free sound community and ask around and see if they have any ideas. Because like they do have a screening process for sounds by a human, but I believe that's mostly to make sure they meet the community guidelines. Which, I'm just going to say it here, don't be too hopeful about it if you think about this site. Because, surprisingly, birds and the bees are part of okay in the community guidelines. I found that out on accident. So, basically, yeah. But they do have someone reviewing it, so I'm going to ask on there and see, like, what they check. And because I'm wondering if maybe the 18 was added on there, so it's a little bit harder to link to the original artist, but it still looks like him. And it seems like it's legitimate, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe somebody was infringing on copyright and uploading it there. Or maybe it actually is legitimately him, because there's only 2 songs on there, but he's made more than 2 songs if you look elsewhere. So maybe it was legitimately him, and then, like, I'm wondering if there's a Creative Commons license stuck on automatically afterwards for it's automatically public domain if you don't say anything, but when he uploaded it, that wasn't the case, because that could be the case. So it could be either that's not legal, or maybe he uploaded it and forgot, or changed the license and forgot. I don't know. It's very confusing, but I do want to get this sorted out. And if it is actually not legal, then I would love for them to go and have that taken down, or somehow work their way into that account and change the Creative Commons license for that, for that sound, because it doesn't seem quite legal, it's very confusing, but I do want to get it sorted out and actually, pay Mim Diablo for his wonderful work. It is a really good song that I would totally pay licensing rights to use. I love it, So that's where I'm standing with copyright, and hopefully they get back to me soon. One other thing that I'm curious about, though, is YouTube, I forget the date, but YouTube says you can expect a response, or you must receive a response within this much time. And if I go to my actual copyright page, it says you must receive a response by this date. But there's nothing that says what happens if they don't respond by that date or not. Yeah. And I'm hopeful, though, that if they don't respond by that date, then YouTube has to have a person step in and take a look at this, and that they side with me, or that maybe it default sides with me. Because there was someone saying that they waited and the time ran out, and then it kind of defaulted to them keeping it, which possibly they didn't quite get the message, because sometimes notifications get mixed up in YouTube's system and emails don't get sent out right. I don't know. So there's that. Now on to the masking thing that I forget the username. Look at my comments here. Now on to the masking thing that Jordan Oliver said. So here's the sad news. I just got very sick and tired of masking. It was turning out good, but it was really hurting my brain, and ultimately, like, not really worth it. And just, And this is a detail that, like, scale of 1 to 10. 10 being everybody's gonna notice it. 1 being only the most devout person who watches it 50 times and looks at all the pixels and finds all the crazy stuff. Somebody like CinemaSins is number 1, and everybody's gonna see it is number 10. I would put the masking that I was doing to fix up the door, I would put that at like a 5, maybe a 4. It's kind of in the middle, you might not know exactly why it's there, you might not even think that there's supposed to be space blanket on the door, but I basically just said, no, this is not fun anymore. I kind of hated masking before, but now I really hate masking, especially with that. I'll still do it in the future if I have to. There are some cases where I probably will, and I think the fruits of the labors will be a lot better because I'm like sticking a UFO or something in, and so I legitimately have to do that. Otherwise, so I don't think that everybody's going to notice this. Some people probably will, but basically masking fell through, and I didn't do that, and yeah. I still have the files on my computer, you know. I might, be like, I might get somebody else, if there's somebody out there who's willing right now to take my files, pick up where I left off, finish the job, and then I'll upload a separate clip saying what this scene would have looked like had I finished masking. I'm willing to do that if somebody else wants to finish it. Or, I'm kind of even willing to maybe possibly, I might render out what I have already to show you guys kind of sort of what it would have looked like had I finished. But I'm not finishing the masking. It was kind of a waste of time, and I'm wishing I would have called my cousin sooner than trying to wait for masking and all this stuff to be done. Then it would have been less of a crunch yesterday. But either way, I got it submitted, and I'm happy. And yeah, so masking, I'm sorry to disappoint anybody, but the masking, it's no. That's a no. But that is definitely very much so one of those things where if you can reshoot, you reshoot. Which I didn't, and it would have helped if I would have actually watched the footage. The biggest thing that I'm going to do every single time that I'm on set is I'm going to take a little bit of time to watch the footage. I'm going to go to my camera, press play, speed it up 2 times, maybe a little bit faster, and just look for big obvious mistakes. Not necessarily little ones, but big obvious stuff like, oh, I can see a light over there, which was an issue for part of the film, but we got that one reshot. Or there's this over here that needed to be fixed. And actually, my mom pointed out something which I've heard before that I forgot. But a lot of times what they do, different productions do, is they have dailies where like the director will sit down at the end of the day and they'll watch the clips and they'll say, this one's good, that one's not. We need to reshoot that one. Ooh, we missed this. Stuff like that. So I'm gonna start actually doing dailies. If not, I think personally for me, I would rather like in the moment. For me, it might be easier for me too since I'm a smaller company, like if we travel up the street a little ways, it would be easier for me to say, okay, let me quickly watch that at 4 times speed, look for big mistakes, and then go from there in the moment. So I'm gonna try in the moment, but I might do the dailies routine. If I feel I could do that for a project, if I feel like I could go back to certain places. So it'll kind of be a mix of both, but I am going to work that in and look for things too. And last thing I'm going to say is reflections. There was 2 shots going in the front door, and one coming out of the front door, and they had reflections of the camera and crew inside of them. So we reshot from a different angle, which helped with the reflections. But even then, as the door opening on one of them from the angle, you can still kind of see me. There were some ways I could have picked a different angle slightly to get rid of the reflections on one shot. I could have been on the other side recording the boom audio. But, yeah, basically there's still reflections, but they're not as bad. And the other reason I chose the second shots versus the original ones is because they actually turned out a little bit better, part of me, but also part of my cousin too, who's playing the main character, Lily. She's had a lot more acting experience in plays and stuff like that, and it, and when I brought her on for the project, it was a last minute, hey, quick, are you interested in being in a film? I've got all these other people coming, and I need to know fast. And I got her to come, and it turns out she had some acting experience before. It's definitely gotten a lot better, and I'm really happy about that. And it's like, this is actually, at first it was like, she's my cousin, this was fun, I might do something with her again, but now it's like, that was actually really good. I would totally pick her again as an actor for other projects if I need to, if she's interested. So they turned out better, and I like that it's good. I think it helps the film a bit, but there's also, I'm not super worried about this. But to me, it kind of sort of feels like imagine, let's just say Tom Cruise is a famous actor. Imagine he's starting out acting, and he makes a movie. And then all of a sudden they have to reshoot something. And so not counting the fact that he's grown up and gotten older, but just counting the years of experience, you now have 2 shots in the film where he's a really good actor, Tom Cruise, and the rest of the film is him with his acting skill level when he started. In some cases, that could be awkward and odd. And, you know, in this case, I thought, because she has grown a year. It's been a year since we filmed the original shots. I thought about shooting from maybe a lower angle. The good news, the few shots that we needed to reshoot didn't include me. But even then, I couldn't really notice a difference of her height-wise. If I really, really, like, measured with a ruler her height compared to the height of the cabinets and stuff, and the counters in the kitchen or something, or the door frames, I could maybe notice a difference, but it wasn't super noticeable. You know, and I haven't seen her for, like, a year, too. So, for me, even in real life, it wasn't like, whoa, you got taller. I kind of looked and, like, just in my mind measured it, and I think before she was, like, slightly shorter than me, but now she's almost on par with me. And I hope she keeps on growing, too, because I'm small, okay? I'm 24 and short. She's like 15, 16 now, so yay. Anyways, that is the updates for Airborne Death. I am super excited to show it. Oh, yeah, last thing. So right now, I'm waiting for it to get submitted. If you're local in the area and it does get submitted to the film contest, you'll see that. That will be cool. And it will be released on YouTube eventually. What I'm planning on doing now is I'm going to get with the main people in the film and just say, this isn't mandatory, but does everybody have a date sometime within the next month or so that you'd be available to do this, to show up and have a night where we watch it together with a bunch of friends, family, and possibly even random strangers if they see the event on Facebook or on YouTube. So that's the plan. I'm going to pick a night for that. Then we're going to meet at a local church house. They've got a projector I can borrow, and we'll put it up onto a not super huge screen. I believe the projector isn't like HD, but it will be good enough, okay? I mean, I thought about even buying a projector because I do want one. So, you know, that's a slight option. I might possibly look into actually purchasing a projector, because then it would be easy to show stuff in the future too, you know. But that's the plan so far, is we're gonna show these things at a little event like that, and it will be cool. So there'll be more info about that posted on this page when I get that worked out. And Jordan Oliver asked what film festival. So it is the, Film Quest. Originally I was thinking of the underfunded film festival, because this is definitely very much so, like, underfunded. You know, I picked, like, I want to say I put my budget down as like $100. It probably wasn't even that. This had, you know, definitely a lot of people helping out, working for, you know, free or whatever. And if I do win some prize, cash award or something, I'm totally fine. I want to split it up with everybody who helped me with this project. Even if all I end up getting is like, I don't know, like $5 or so. I don't care. I legitimately want to do that and be nice. And I legitimately want to pay people too. And this isn't because, you know, you have to. Like here in Utah, I'm going to ask for clarification on the Facebook page I'm on for filmmakers and actors, but they've said student projects and film competition projects can be like ask for volunteer work, but commercial projects can't. That is illegal. And this is a film project, so it's also my first project too, so I'm wondering if maybe they would squeeze that into, I think it fits under not necessarily the student, but it's non-commercial, but it was planning on being entered, so I haven't broken any laws there. But I'm curious to ask them, what if your project isn't student film or contest, but you're not planning on making any money off of it? Then where does it fall? But I do want to pay people, not because people don't work for free in most cases, but because I feel like they do deserve to be paid. I value my written scripts and my works enough that I feel people should be paid to be in them. So in the future, that's the plan that I'm going to be working on, is saving up some of my hard-earned money and then, you know, paying people from that. But that's the plan so far. So it's Film Quest. I was going to do underfunded film festival, but then they merged with Film Quest. and now it's like just Film Quest. So it is submitted to Film Quest. I do have a little bit of, I bought some $5.50 protection, so if the festival for some reason doesn't happen, something else, or if I withdraw it within 5 days of submitting, I will get my money back, which is good, because I submitted it the latest possible, which means I was paying the most expensive price, because the festivals, they charge you less money they charge you less money for having things submitted earlier than later. So I paid $60 to get into a short film category, and then another $50 to get into a... What is it? Yeah, and then another $50 to get into a Utah film category. So both of those it's been submitted to. 2 chances for it to get entered to something. I'm really hopeful for it. And so total $115 I want to look at and other things. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.